Hey there, everybody. Got my starter in. Still haven't got my seals yet. Hopefully they'll be here in a few days, which this will all be in the same video. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get my starter put on. Got it out of the truck, got my tools and things, so I'll take you over there with me, and we'll see. Pretty straightforward. Nothing special other than being heavy. Ooh, this creeper's cold. I ain't had no heat on down here. I had a rag stuck up in the hole. Dad said he would help me, but it's going to be kind of cramped to get in here with me and the starter. So I'm going to attempt it by myself. I think once I get it up in there and in the hole, it'll kind of line itself up for spacing till I get a bolt started. It come with these little spacers right here. Oh boy. I don't know what that starter weighs, 50 pounds maybe or something. Yeah. Okay. Keep her fingers intact and guide her up in here. Oh boy. Well, ain't that just great? Them things might have to be compressed a little bit to go in there. I didn't even try them. So, drive them in there. Yep. Hey, where'd you go? Come on now. Got one more somewhere. Got one more someplace. What in the world? Any ideas? For me? There it is. Okay, now back to the drawing board. Now back to the drawing board. Got her bed. Now, grab another bolt Get one started in here. And now we can snug these two up and then try to get the top one in. I'm gonna try putting it in a socket and on an extension and reach back in there and see if I can get her started. I'm not going to tighten it totally down. All right. Now, let's move. Don't know what y'all can see, but right up there's the bolt. Was able to reach back up in there and get it started. So now I'm gonna see if I can reach in there and get this socket on it with this long extension. I have my impact set on number 2. Hey, get my socket up there. That one is the one you can't hardly get on with the socket. I might could have had a shallow socket. Alright, that'll work. Had that set on number 2. I think that impact's got 700 foot-pounds of torque on number 3, so let's check it here. That one's tight. Oh yeah, that one's tight. And we will get our wires hooked up now. I'm gonna have problems. That positive terminal is a bigger diameter than everything else on my cables. So I'm gonna have to get that figured out, drill them out a little bit or something, but it might be hard to drill them. I hope them others will fit. They look a little bigger than this actual heavy-duty battery terminal cable. I might be able to get it filed out a little bigger. Let me try and see something. Okay, here's what I come up with. I went ahead and drilled my battery terminal out bigger to where it would fit on the stud. I had one other wire that would fit. All these accessory wires that's on there will not. So instead of changing the ends or trying to drill them out or anything like that, what I come up with is I went out Dad's, got a piece of copper pipe and drove it flat, flattened it good and flat, drilled 2 holes in it, one to fit this stud on the starter, the main one, and then I've got a stainless steel bolt. I'll bolt all them wires to it on the other side, and I don't see why that wouldn't work. So we'll get to put it together and I'll show you. Alright, there it is. Don't see any reason why that wouldn't work, because all your main amperage is already hooked to the lug with the big cable coming from your battery, and everything else is accessory wires. So it's not going to be carrying much amperage. So yeah, I believe it'll work. Got our O-ring kit in. This is the water O-ring, and then this one, bigger one, is for the oil. What I'm going to do, and this may be totally wrong or not what everybody else would do, or you know how that goes on YouTube. But I'm going to put just a thin coat of grease on it. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in place. You can see it seated down in there on that little lip. Some people does this different than what I'm getting ready to do, and I've never done it. So I don't know if what I'm doing is going to work. But there's one way to find out. I do know that, and that's to do it. Then I'll put this O-ring on here. Might have to get me a little something to kind of get it over that lip. I might be able to get it with my fingers. Get it started. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this one end on. I'm going to put a little grease right around that there too. To where that'll slide up on there. And I think I'll put a little inside of the other part, just up here on the right up in here. I'll get this end assembled, do the same thing to it, and then we'll get it put together. I'm having a time out of this piece, this top one. Just don't act like it's wanting to push even. This back corner's wanting to hold. This side wants to push on, this one don't. Alright. Screw up number 56 on this job. When I put that O-ring up inside of there, don't do that. Just put both of them on this tube. I'd seen it done both ways. Yeah. Don't do that. Put them all on the tube and then press it together. Cause watch that. Look how much easier it's going now. Went right on there that way. Went right on there. Now I need to get me a measurement. Might as well put that other bolt in the hole that it's supposed to be in while I've got it here. Got all but that top one up there. Well, I've got one more right here. Gotta get started. I don't know how much y'all can see. But there's 3 bolts in the front, 4 back here in the back. With this style truck, I don't know if they're all like it or not. But that I missed one of these that day I was taking it off to start with. I'm not going to tighten nothing for yet. I'll go around and get everything snugged up, evened up, and then go back and tighten it all. Tighten it all. But I won't turn y'all off. I'm going to go ahead and put a new oil filter on this. I didn't want to try to reuse the one that had been on it. Good way to contaminate things. Okay, and I did fill the filter up before putting it on there. So, new starter, oil cooler resealed. Hopefully don't leak. Hopefully the starter works. Rear engine seal's got a slight leak. Slight leak about everywhere. Oh well. Part of it. Part of it. Alright, everybody. I have made a big decision that it really was tough on me on this old truck. I pulled my radiator out the other day because I already had my coolant drained. Changing the oil cooler, and I had a little leak on my radiator I was going to fix, and after getting it out and looking at it, it's so corroded inside. I know without a flashlight y'all can't see. Zoe, you got a flashlight? Anyways, wait a minute. Yeah, I still don't know if y'all can really tell. But it's really corroded down in there, in the fins and stuff. And starting to get some seepage up here. Looks like you can see the green tinge to it and stuff. And also, this radiator, which it's on the other side, I'd have to flip it over to show you. But I had unhooked my 3-point rear blade one time and left the top link hooked to it, sitting over here across from the shop in that little white parking spot. I pulled this truck in with the trailer to turn it around, pulled up a little bit too close, hit that top link, went right between the grill and the bumper and into the bottom of the radiator, punctured a hole in it, had to take it and have it, I had that section blocked off, so I'd already had reduced cooling capacity and all that junk in there. I'm sure is restricting the flow, and probably that some of that stuff, contaminants that was in the oil cooler, most likely has come from this radiator. Bottom side's pretty corroded too. So I got online, started looking for a radiator, I think at Napa and some of them places it was going to be like $1,200 to $1,300 for one. I found this one on eBay through American Radiator. It says it's for the same thing. I've actually not unboxed it yet to see. I just kind of opened it and glanced in there to see if it had been damaged. It hadn't. Didn't look like. Hope it hasn't. Anyways, I'll get it unboxed here in a second and we'll check it out. It was $500 some dollars, can't remember, and about $140 shipping, which was a lot still, but it was cheaper than anything else I could find. Looked like the original thing. It actually looked more like this one. It's got a few little changes, which is probably improvements from what I've seen. But I did not want to spend that kind of money on this truck right now. Anytime I spend over a couple $100, it tears me all to pieces. At this point, we've got the new starter, alternator, the glow plugs, controller, relays, all that stuff. The oil cooler gaskets, which hopefully I didn't damage putting it back together. We won't know till we crank it up and see. I guess the concern I have is I do have a little slight seepage of oil from my head gaskets. I just don't have the money right now really to invest into this anymore. It's not mixing fluids yet, which is a good thing. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to run it a while, hopefully to get through this year. If I don't see any major changes, I might not work on it, you know, by next winter, but I'm considering next winter going ahead and tearing it down and putting head gaskets and stuff in it at that point. If it gets worse, you know, I'll have to do it earlier. It'd be nice to do it now, but I just worry about breaking bolts off and different odds and ends that might cause me a bigger headache. You know, it's running good. It's been doing that leak and that little bit of oil seep and stuff for a long time. Can't really tell it's got any worse. There's nothing like wet running. It's just you can tell that over time it's leaked and, you know, dust and stuff's gathered on there and it's worked its way down the side of the engine. But you don't just park it and see oil running out of it or antifreeze or nothing like that. So we'll just kind of have to monitor that situation. I hate to put the new radiator in it and all that and take a chance on getting oil and stuff in it and having to try to get it flushed out. But that's what we're going to do against my better judgment. And hopefully it pans out for us. But we'll get this thing unboxed and go to put her in. Something real quick on this before we go to put it in there. This is the original radiator. And see the gap right here? From here to here? Well, this one is not like that. It's got a lot thicker fins in it, all the way to the thickness of the radiator reservoirs. And there's a little more reservoir on each end as well than that one. Hopefully that don't affect me. I know it won't on the top, but hopefully it won't on the bottom with getting it in there. It come with this little fitting in a bag, I guess, so it wouldn't have got broke off. I had to put it in, and then I took my drain out of the old one and put in here, and I'll put this one back in this old radiator just so I don't lose it. But I like that other one where you can put a hose on it. Makes it nice about when you do drain your coolant. Probably been a good idea to have somebody help me. So we don't damage it. And make sure the top's on top, which it is. Now, Getting her down in there. So, what the best option is. I got my booting away. You can see the bottom lip of that fan shroud down there. It's kind of restrictive of getting it in and out. I got one bolt started in the, well, a bolt on each side. Started in the fan shroud and the radiator. Hold them in place. Ow! Caught that old sharp corner right there. Didn't feel good at all. Did not feel good. I mean, this part's pretty self-explanatory. Just get all your bolts in and tighten them up. If you don't have a dewalt impact, I suggest you get one. Oop, that rounded off a little bit. This one is the one that's got the, I think it's 700 foot-pounds of torque and like a 1100 breakout force on the highest setting. I've got one at school. It's like, I think it's 330 foot-pounds. But I wanted the good heavy-duty one. And you got the 3-speed setting on it. I'd like to get me a smaller one for here, though, eventually. I would. Now I gotta get my brace up there laid down and bolt put in it. Thought I had an extra bolt and couldn't figure out where it's supposed to go. And that's where it's supposed to go. Okay, this is gonna be the first start after doing the oil cooler, the starter, and the radiator. So a lot of stuff to test all at once. Kind of nervous about it. I guess the biggest thing I'm nervous about is having leaks in my oil cooler. Definitely internal I'm worried about, and mixing the coolants and the oil, and also external. Hopefully everything is buttoned up good and tight. Everything's good shape, the O-rings and all that's good. Wasn't damaged in the installation process. So we'll get it fired up here and see. Hopefully the starter engages good and works good. You might see a little puff of smoke because my manifold's got a little crack in it. And it's been parked for about probably 2 weeks at least, maybe a little more. Well, had all this other stuff on my mind. And I didn't hook the batteries back up. I think I'll put that on the bottom and that on top. Now, maybe we're in line to see what happens. Can you believe how quick that started? Wow, that's impressive. Compared to what it used to be, even after I changed the glow plugs, that starter, boom, buddy, did it. Well, I'll let it run a little bit here and check it over good, and I'll give you the results. I just have my radiator cap sitting on there. I'll let it build up and the thermostat open up. That way it can blow out any air that's in there before I tighten it up. Well, test drive, test run, all that stuff went good. Park her back in the shop tonight. Go over and check for leaks, check all the fluids, make sure everything looks like it should and stuff, and we should be good shape. And just something to remember, I know people's gonna think I should go ahead and do the head gaskets, which really I should, but it can lead to bigger problems and more expense, and I just can't really afford that right now. I've invested a lot into it and things, and it's just the money's not there. I know they're not real expensive, but still you don't know what else you'd run into and stuff, and I don't know, it could cause more damage later. But anyways, it's been doing it a while. It's not really got any worse that I can tell. I only run this truck maybe 1,000 miles or a little more a year. If it's, you know, as far as mileage, it don't get a whole lot of miles put on it. The truck had 88,000 miles on it in 2005. When I bought it, it's got 106,000 on it now, so that tells you about how much it gets run. So it's the first time I've really spent any money on it to do anything to it other than the injector pump. About 2 years ago, I put an injector pump on it, I guess. But anyways, that'll wrap us up. If you will, please like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll catch you later.